Our firm is looking to scale housing for adults with autism and disabilities in a way that we can do in every market throughout the United States. And I came to this after working in mostly real estate and healthcare, investing in the business world for about 15 years. So I was very fortunate to work in real estate investment banking. I worked, with a lot of large institutional real estate firms during my time in New York and also for a large hedge fund, and then went to Medtronic where I learned a whole different thing about use of data and AI and how to look at things through the lens of, patient populations that are unserved. In terms of the total demand, we have about 13 million people in the United States with some form of autism or related intellectual developmental disability. About 80% are living with family in adulthood, and they are really categorically not being served at all in the housing ecosystem. There's less than 200,000 units of group homes in the country, and virtually every family in the country, does not prefer a group home for their family member because they really don't work and they don't work long term. And so we said, look, the solutions out there really are group homes. There's no supply to really meet the amount of demand. 80% are living with family in adulthood. They are, 25% of healthcare costs effectively. Lots of them end up in the hospital ERs. They are 400% more likely to become homeless. There's estimates that about half the homeless population have some form of autism or related disability. So we're saying this is a very large problem set that is not being served, and it's vast and it's growing, particularly because autism is growing. If we had the couple million closed today that we're looking to close in the next month or so, my first goal is really get these individuals on board that we're currently negotiating agreements with it. And our structure for our fund, we're going to have a $150 million target for the fund. We've already been testing the waters meaningfully with a lot of different capital sources for the fund and deals themselves. And this is after years of working on this, right? Refining our model, refining our mousetrap. Now we have track record on our deals, which are performing incredibly well financially and operationally. We see this growing to a multi-billion dollar business. And I mean, if we're truly going to solve the housing needs for this population, the total housing costs are at least $1 trillion that we need to deploy and make this a priority in the housing ecosystem. If we can, we've deployed over like nearly $1 trillion in affordable housing in this country, and probably close to that in senior housing, and significantly more than that in multifamily. If we can solve senior housing, which 40 years ago, senior housing was nonprofits and families doing it themselves. That's exactly what you see with this today.